Hi, my name's Josh and I'm a guitar tutor for South Lanarkshire Leisure and Culture, and today we're going to be learning the theme from Mario. It goes like this. Yes. Right. So there's two sections to this song. There's two sections to this song, and then including an intro as well, which is just 2 bars. So we'll start with the intro, and then we'll go over each of the sections. So the intro is nice and easy. It's just mainly played on the first string, the high E string. So we're going to play that open 3 times like this. Okay, so just pick it 3 times. And then we're going to take our first finger. If you remember, your fingers in your left hand are named after numbers, with your pointer finger being your first finger, your middle finger being your second finger, your ring finger being your third finger, and of course your pinky is your fourth. Now, so to start this one off, we're going to play the open E, and then it's with your first finger you're going to place that on the first fret of the B string, like this. So you're going to play 3 open E's, place your first finger on the first fret of the B string, and play that once, push in tightly, and then you're going to play the open E again. Okay, so 3 of the open E, first finger on the first fret of the B, and then open E again. And then to finish off the intro, you're going to take your third finger and you're going to place that in the 3rd fret of the E string and just play that once. Okay? And then open G to finish it off. So that's 3rd finger in the 3rd fret of the E string and then an open G. So all together you'll get. Okay, practice those 2 bars just nice and slowly, and that's the intro. It's nice and easy. Okay, so this first sort of section is marked in the sheet A. We're going to start there, so it's 4 bars long. So that I'll play that whole section just so you know where we're learning to. It sounds like this. Okay, so the first bar starts with your first finger on the first fret of the B string. Okay, and then we're going to play the open G string, so the 3rd string, and then you're going to take your middle finger, your second finger, and you're going to put that in the 2nd fret of the D string and play that once. Okay, so it's 1st fret with your first finger of the B string, open G string, and then 2nd fret on the D string. So you get. Okay, and then the next bar begins with 2nd fret on the G string, so 2nd fret on the G string using your 2nd finger, and then it's an open B string, and then with your 3rd finger you're going to play the 3rd fret on the G string, and then the 2nd fret in the G string using your 2nd finger. Okay, so that bar goes 2nd fret in the G, open B, 3rd fret in the G, 2nd fret in the G. Okay, so that's the 2nd bar of section A. So we've got the 1st and 2nd bar together and they sound like this. What to do is just practice those 2 bars over and over again, nice and slowly, about this pace. Okay, until you can play them both together. And then once you can do that, try and speed it up a wee bit to about this. Okay, and once you can do that, move on to the next bar, the 3rd bar, which starts with a open G string, followed by an open E string. And now this time you're going to take your first finger and you're going to move up to the 3rd fret of the E string, okay? So taking your first finger and sticking it in the 3rd fret of the E string. And then your 3rd finger is going to play the 5th fret of the E string. Okay, so you get open G, open E, taking your first finger and putting it in the 3rd fret of the E string, and then your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the E string, and then this time after that you're going to take your first finger and put it in the 1st fret of the E string, and then your 3rd finger again, but this time in the 3rd fret of the E string. Okay, so that's open G, open E, 1st finger in the 3rd fret of the E, 3rd finger in the 5th fret of the E, 1st finger in the 1st fret of the E, and then your 3rd finger in the 3rd fret of the E. So that's that bar, and then the second bar, or the second bar of this part, but the very last bar of this section is just open E, 1st fret on the B string with your 1st finger, and then 3rd fret of the B string this time with your 3rd finger, and then open B. So that's open E, 1st fret on the B, 3rd fret in the B, open B. Okay, so those two bars together slowly sound like this. Okay, so once you've got the first two bars, you're onto those two bars, and if you just practice them at that speed I just played, or even slower if you need to, just getting used to where your fingers go. Once you can do that, you can try and speed it up a wee bit, maybe to this speed. Okay, and then once you can play those two bars, go back to the first two bars and just try and play that whole section together, which is the bit that sounds like. Okay, that might take you a wee while to get, so just break it down a bar at a time, nice and slowly, and then once you're confident with each bar, just start adding in another one till you can play the whole part. And then once you can play the whole part, just try and see if you can play it a bit faster, but don't go too fast, just nice and steady is better. Then once you can do that, you're ready to move on to section B. Play section A again, so it repeats. That's what the wee dots in your music mean. Just at the end of the bar we just got to, you go back and you play that section again. So once you play, you'd go back and play that again. Hopefully better than that, but yeah. Then after that, now you're ready to go into section B. So section B is the part that sounds like this. Okay, so let's look at the very first bar. This starts off in the 3rd fret of the E string, and with this you're going to use your 3rd finger, okay? So 3rd fret with your 3rd finger, and then it goes to the 2nd fret and you're going to use your 2nd finger, and then it goes to the 1st fret and you're going to use your 1st finger this time. Okay? So 3rd finger for the 3rd fret, 2nd finger for the 2nd fret, and then 1st finger for the 1st fret. So that sounds like this. Then it goes to the 4th fret of the B string. Now if you can, try and use your pinky for this one. I know it's a bit harder because your pinky is like your weakest finger, but it's good practice to use it and get it stronger. So you go to the 4th fret of the B string. So 3rd fret in the E string, 2nd fret in the E string, 1st fret in the E string, and then pinky onto the 4th fret of the B string, and then you finish that bar off by just playing the open E, like that. Okay? So nice and slowly, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, 4th fret with your pinky if you can, and then open E. Right? Okay, so the next bar begins on the G string this time, on the 1st fret. So you're going to use your 1st finger, you're going to place it in the 1st fret of the G string, play that, and then you're going to take your 2nd finger and put that in the 2nd fret of the G string, and then your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string. Okay? So it starts 1st finger on the 1st fret of the G string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, and then 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string. Okay? And then it goes 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the G this time, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B again, and then your 3rd finger onto the 3rd fret of the B. Okay? So that bar sounds like this. Right? So, 1st fret of the G, 2nd fret of the G, 1st fret of the B, 2nd fret of the G, 1st fret of the B, 3rd fret of the B. Okay, so once you can do that 2nd bar, just go back to the 1st bar and put that and the 2nd bar together, which should sound something like this. Scrap that. Which should sound something like this. Okay? So just practice that nice and slowly like you did before, and then once you're able to do that, maybe speed it up a wee bit. And once you've got it, we'll move on to the next part, which luckily enough is the exact same as the 1st bar. Again, it's just 3rd fret on 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the E string, 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E string, then your pinky again on the 4th fret of the B, and then an open E. So it's just the same thing again. But this bar is where it changes. This time we're going all the way up to the 8th fret of the E string. Now, remember your guitar, if you have a guitar like this one, it normally would have these dots here. Sometimes your guitar might not have the dots, but it might have dots at the top here. The dots help you count quickly. It helps you count the frets. It's easy to count the frets when you're down here, 1, 2, 3, but when you're away up here it can take ages to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That takes ages. That's what the dots are for. They help you quickly find where you are on the fret. So if you have a dot, the first one's always the 3rd fret, the 2nd dot's always the 5th fret, the 3rd dot's the 7th, the 4th dot's the 9th, and then the one with 2 dots, that's always the 12th. So we're looking to find the 8th fret of the E string. So a quick way to do that is just be like, it was the 8th fret, so the 3rd dot is the 7th, the 4th dot's the 9th, so it must be the one in between them. So that's a quick way to find it. And then you're just going to take your finger, put it in the 8th fret of the E string, and we're just going to play it 3 times like this. Okay? So if your guitar has the dots, use them to find the 8th fret. If not, you're just going to have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But hopefully it does have the dots, so it's nice and easy. And you just play that 3 times. So, from the 3rd and 4th bar is the bit that sounds like this. All the way up to the 8th fret. 3 times. Okay? So that whole section together sounds like this. Okay? Same thing again, just practice a bar at a time, really slowly, as slow as you like, till you can play it quite comfortably. Then once you can do that, just start adding in all the bars together and then playing it slowly, Once you can do that, speed it up a wee bit. Okay, now there is one more part to this, to section B, but it's actually the exact same thing again. It starts off for the next 2 bars, so that's the same as what we've just played, but the last 2 bars are where it changes. So the 5th and 6th bars are the same as the 1st and 2nd, so we won't need to go over that again. You know them. But this is where it changes. Instead of going up to the 8th fret and playing the wee bit before that, we finish this section off by going 4, 3, 1. Okay, so you get. So that's just 4th fret in the B string with your pinky, 3rd fret of the B string with your 3rd finger, and then 1st fret of the B string with your 1st finger to finish it off. Okay? So that's all there is to it. It's almost an exact repeat except for those last 2 bars. Just go 4, 3, 1. And that's it. So all together you've got section B now, and once you can play that, play all of section B together, just go back to the beginning of the song and now try and play the whole thing, including the intro if you remember, which was the bit that went. Then section A and then section B, and that's you. You'll be able to play Mario. And if you want, just go back and watch the beginning of the video to hear how the whole thing sounds. But that's us for the lesson. Enjoy practicing it, and I'll see you next week for another song.